Hey y'all, we are back, y'all. We are back on this beautiful Saturday. We're on this beautiful Saturday morning, evening, night, noon, wherever you from, y'all. Welcome back, y'all, with another Nolan's Well discussion with your girl. Let's Talk Justice TV, Lanita. Yeah. Y'all, I'm gonna go ahead on and get started. If you missed my live this morning, please go back and check check this video out because it's very interesting. Y'all, this is just my opinions, and my opinions are not necessarily based on facts. But I know they won't let me sleep. Nolan won't let me sleep. Nolan, you gotta let me sleep. He do let me sleep sometime. Sometimes Nolan do let me sleep sometime. And sometimes he just keep punching me, you know what I mean? So I have to do what I gotta do when it come down to young people, kids. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started, y'all. What been bothering myself in the case is the boat, the malfunctioning of the boat, the timeline that friends, his associates and friends is giving you all, and plus I think that was the worst thing to do, to ever give us a timeline, in a situation like this. Also, a lot of things bother me in this case here is the vibe. I'm not feeling the vibe. And what I mean by that is the 4th of July. And everybody out here, y'all. Everybody is out here on Horn Island. You hear me? And what's tripping me out is we see everybody but Nolan. We see everybody but Nolan. And also, I'm going to the bowge pump. We're going to get into the bowge pump. I don't have to be on the boat because I'm not into boats. But I go out on the water, if I want to. And my dad would live, and I'd be out there on the boat with him. But he's not, so I don't trust nobody else. I haven't even been on a cruise. So what we want to do today is, since Nola don't want me to continue, I'm going to continue until we find out. First of all, I don't want to accuse nobody in this situation. So, but something happened on Horn Island. Something happened on Horn Island. If you people who think he's drowned, and we know we're going to find water in his system, the first thing y'all got to do, if you all going to say he drowned, y'all got to say, was he conscious or was he unconscious when he drowned, before he drowned? What was he doing before he drowned? What was he doing? So what I want to do is get into the confusion on Horn Island when it came to, and we're going to be confused because of what they put out there. And I usually listen to the news. I listen to all these big time folks who don't put the interviewers on their channels. And I can't afford to do that. So I'm just a little old me, retired coach and PE teacher, so I have to do what I have to do. So I want to get into the audio. And so what I did was I'm going to take y'all from here to the audio with the GMA, Good Morning America, when they first came out with this. And then I want y'all to hear what they saying on here. And I'm going to compare it with, I got a problem with the sea toad. So whoever created that sea toad knew what they were doing when they did it. And so that's what they want y'all to do, to keep talking about the case until they go through what they have to go through. That's the same way they did Mo 3 case, y'all. And other cases that we'll cover. Now, it said, hey, we're at the West tip horn in our Bouch pump. Stop. It stopped working. We're sinking. So I'm going to play this. Because somebody, it seemed like the children, I say children, y'all got to excuse me, guys. When you older, you respect them as young people, but sometimes we'll made a mistake. We'll say kids. We say kids because that's what I call my kids in their 30s and one in their 40s. But I mean, I still say kids. You know what I mean? So anywho, listen to this.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Bourne, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. This morning more.
Now, he said we're sinking. Only thing I don't understand with the sea toad, I'm gonna play it again, cause I got to shout out to my workers, cause they've been working. They ain't got time to be listening to this stuff. They like me when I was working. Play it again.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Bourne, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking.
Okay, when he said this compared to the sea toad messed up. He said this in the sea toad. He said that Bouch pump is the problem in this case. The pouch pump stopped working. Now that's going to be very important in this case, because what I did was Jim, come on now, man. You ain't here. Come on, I'm trying to have class. Leave me alone now. Come on now. Gosh. I mean, y'all, these people really don't want y'all to hear about Nolan Wells. And we're going to be here until they come on here and tell us what happened, okay? If y'all don't want to hear, don't y'all have a remote control? Change the channel. Thank you. And please leave me alone. Let me help find out what happened to this young man. Jesus. God, man. Okay, here we go. Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn and our pouch pump stopped working. We're sinking. Now, what I'm going to do, what I decided to do, since I don't know about boats, I found a video for y'all, okay? Okay, you're going to get distraction, y'all, but y'all better be careful with that defamation when you're talking about the content creators. Okay, here we go. So what I did was, let me play it out. What I'm going to do, I'm going to play it all the way through. I'm going to play this video all the way through, y'all. I got to get some strict mods. I got to get some mods when I do Nolan Wells. So if you're interested, I got to be careful with mods, because y'all may be looking out for each other. So I'll let you know. So here, anywho, I'm going to play this all the way through, and then what we're going to do, put it together. Okay? How about that?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Bourne, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. This morning, more audio of the frantic call from the boat Nolan Wells was supposed to have taken to shore after celebrating July 4th with friends on a remote barrier island off the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
And what do you want to do? Do you want to be towed back?
I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes.
The caller told the dispatcher everyone aboard was unhurt and noted he and the passengers were young.
There's 0 adults on board. Nobody here is over the age of 21.
Documents obtained by ABC News show that boat set off for Horn Island just before 10 a.m. the morning of July 4th. Wells and his friends arrived at 11:14. For the next 5 hours, the boat was stationary until it left at 4:31 p.m. without Wells, moving at no more than 4 knots. Whatever problem the teens reported was resolved about an hour later at 5:25 when vessel regains normal operation and begins accelerating at 30 to 35 knots. Friends said they did not abandon Wells. Rather, the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources reported his friends saying Wells was in the company of an unknown female and that he chose to remain at the island. As searchers began scanning the island and surrounding waters, this email obtained by ABC News shows the preliminary information they were given, describing Wells as a black male, 6'1", 180 pounds, wearing shorts only. The Marine Patrol listed his alcohol intake as heavy. The state's autopsy, including the results of toxicology tests, is pending.
As long as we continue to remember him, his light will continue to shine through us all. Nolan, we love you. We'll continue to fight for you.
Wells was laid to rest last week. A source tells ABC News on the day of the funeral, his mother sent his friends legal notice to expect a lawsuit, instructing them to preserve evidence and not to delete anything on their phones. Nothing further from the Wells.
Okay, now I want to take it right here. So what I did was, this is what Lil Nita did. So what Lil Nita did for her subscribers, and I appreciate y'all. Y'all been with me for years, and plus the new ones, welcome aboard. And those who watch this, I appreciate you too as well. I'm gonna take y'all to what a valve pump is. Okay, when it stops, what it does. What do the friend means by we're at the horn tip horn and our pouch pump stopped working. Now, this is a young man that's familiar with the water and with boats, but this time the pouch pump stopped. So this is what he means by that. So I put, and then also, I'm going to play this video. I found this video and I want to play it for you all. Okay?
Okay, here we are in the bow of the boat checking the sump pump. Using a shirt hanger as a tool to lift that float switch. Okay, drop it. And you saw it got stuck on that big strainer. Go ahead and
see how that bow pump can get stuck. So this is, I'm just letting y'all see what it looked like on the boat, okay? If you have a boat and you know this information, it's okay, but let me show my people.
it again. Let it go. And it's stuck. Push it down. Okay. Again. And down. So we've got to move that big strainer out to my left a little bit so the float switch does not get stuck.
It's sort of tight.
Yeah, so we'll just have to roughhouse it a little bit and move it around. Also looking down here in the bilge, there's an electric bilge pump or water pump motor of some sort. And you can't see it that well, but way in the back, I thought I saw a float switch. I do. There's a bilge pump back there with the float switch on the other side of that beam. So we may have to lift up that carpet in the hallway to access that.
That's another one.
Is that lift up or is it glued?
That's glued. You know what it's glued to?
We may not want, oh, there you go. Okay, good. All right, there's the other bilge pump. And that's the one that's stuck. Use your tool to lift up that float and push it down. The one back there in the hallway.
Oh, right under you?
No, back under Tom. Can you hear it still running? Okay, let's see if you can push it down and stop it. Okay, so that float switch is stuck. We forced it down to turn off that pump. That pump is submersible, water cooled, and if it were to run forever and ever and ever, it would overheat and melt, maybe start a fire. Hopefully there's a fuse, or it would seize and bind and melt that white plastic body. Lift the float again, see what happens. Okay, I can hear the pump running. Let it go. It won't turn off. The reason it won't turn off is because the pump is not pumping all the water out. So we need to see more about that. There's a through hole, seacock open with the check valve, and it goes into a splitter with a T. Some of it is coming forward to the right, through the bulkhead there, through that strainer to that pump, then back into that gray pipe. That gray pipe goes up to the anchor platform, and that is what is your anchor washdown pump. So then the other hose goes aft, which I'm assuming may go to the toilet system. So we've got to check off these systems and make sure they're not going to wear the battery down and wear out the pump and have it.
Okay, so the reason why I showed y'all this video, just to give you a little bit idea of what he said in his video, the pouch, pilge or whatever, the pump. He said that it stopped working. So I just showed y'all a video so y'all can have a little idea of what he talking about when he said it stopped working. So that was one video that I picked out for y'all. So let me move this one. So I want to take y'all here, right here on this. I don't even know, should we be listening to this toll? This been a problem with me with this toll dispatch. Now, this part of the video, the dispatch call, I want to put it on what the conversation was about with the dispatcher. Okay? This is very important to me. The conversation that they have.
All right. Please hold. I'm transferring you to the local captain now.
Okay, thank you. This is Captain Seth.
Hi, Captain Seth. This is Vicky from International. How you doing today?
Doing good, how are you?
Good, good. I apologize ahead of time. I really do. You're going to have a fee-for-service come up under...
Now, something that y'all didn't catch that I caught, and I'm listening to these people, and you may not hear what I hear, but I don't know if did she say secret service or secret fee service, but she said something about secret service. So I was like, where did she say that? So I'm going, don't worry about the words right here, cause don't words be wrong right here. So that's not what she said, what you heard right there. So she make me think that somebody else is controlling this dispatch call, which is causing confusion with the people, with the friends, and with everybody else.
Hi, Captain Seth. This is Vicky from International. How you doing today?
Doing good, how are you?
Good, good. I apologize ahead of time. I really do. You're going to have a fee-for-service come up under...
She said a secret service. I know what she said. She said a secret service. I heard this so many times.
It sounds like a bunch of kids on board on Horn Island. He's letting me know that his father's a member, but he can't give me any information. And he's saying the boat is sinking. And he's on Horn Island. It's just unfortunate. He's just a kid. There's a lot going on. So
Right.
he said there's about a lot of people on board. He says he thinks about 7. I'm guessing they're all under 18. And I'm not trying to be rude. He wants you guys to go out there and unpump the boat and then tow it in.
Do you know what kind of boat it is?
He said a Triton 24-footer, but that's all he could give me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the phone with his grandpa, who I'm guessing is the owner of the boat. And he said,
Okay.
I just hung up with him.
Okay, that's how come I know something ain't right with this phone call here. He said, I just hung up with his grandpa. How in the world did he just hung up with the grandpa? Let me take this back. Y'all be respectful in my chat, okay? Or you can leave. I will have you in trouble for defamation. So if you don't want to be here, you can leave, okay? Okay, here we go, right here.
And I'm not trying to be rude. He wants you guys to go out there and unpump the boat and then tow it in.
Do you know what kind of boat it is?
He said a Triton 24-footer, but that's all he could give me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the phone with his grandpa, who I'm guessing is.
So, right here, he said, that's how come I don't know whether you all should believe the Sea-Tow call or not. But Sea-Tow is a company, okay? But I don't know whether to believe them or not. And then he said he just got out the phone with the grandpa. How he just got out the phone with the grandpa if this young man, who we believe that boat was had the fuel pump stopped working. He said it stopped working. And we're sinking. We're sinking. So why would the grandpa call in on the Sea-Tow call if that was really happened on the Sea-Tow call and tell the captain that the boat is okay? So this has been a problem in the Nolan Wells case. This has been the problem. Because if the grandpa called in, it said the grandpa called in and said that the boat was okay. So what's the problem? So I'm gonna put that to the side because that's very important. That bothers me. Now I want to go here. Here, I want to take it to the friend. The friend also continued to talk about the boat. His boat, what's wrong with his boat, and how, and this one right here, he even told, Warren even told y'all that Nolan been out there with him before. That's the good part that they didn't want y'all to hear. This is the good part that they didn't want you out here. They did not want, they tried to distract this call right here. This young man said, Nolan been out there with me before. He been out on the water with us. Nolan done been there before. No way Nolan should have drowned, in other words. But if you pay attention to the video skips a little bit. Maybe some things they don't want us to hear. Maybe something they want to wait until they go to court. But listen to this.
My friends and I, or my family and I, are out on the water. I mean, that's the one day is guaranteed everybody's going out. And that's a known thing. Everybody's trying to get a ride out to Horn Island, or people go to Ship Island, but most of everybody from Ocean Springs and the Gulf Coast go to Horn Island. And we went last year. Nolan was on the boat with me last year. And
they skipped it, y'all. Y'all didn't see the video jump? He just said something nice about his friend. He said they skipped. They jumped off of what he was saying. He said Nolan been out there before. And then all of a sudden the video jumps. Y'all not paying no attention because y'all really not. Some people not paying no attention. But I'm telling my people over here that the video jumped. He was saying something nice. He know Nolan been out there before. These friends know something happened to Nolan.
It's guaranteed everybody's going out. And that's a known thing. Everybody's trying to get a ride out to Horn Island, or people go to Ship Island, but most of everybody from Ocean Springs and the Gulf Coast go to Horn Island. And we went last year. Nolan was on the boat with me last year, and
Y'all see that? I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna put it on there again. He told y'all Nolan went out there with them last year, and then the video jumped.
people go to Ship Island, but most of everybody from Ocean Springs and the Gulf Coast go to Horn Island. And we went last year. Nolan was on the boat with me last year, and
there you go. It jumped right there. And y'all got to ask yourself, why are they not letting Warren tell his story? Why not? Why they aren't letting Warren talk? They jumped. They skipped the video, y'all. It jumped. But Warren was talking, telling y'all stuff. He said Nolan been out there with us. He went with us last year. We ain't have no problem. We had no problem last year.
he was this was a common thing. My friends go on the boat when we're home. Very, very common. That's what we like to do. My friends like to fish also, and like to go on the boat. Not just fishing, but like to go on the boat, like to go on sunset cruises, like to do it all, on the water, And Nolan loved to do that too.
Nolan loves to do everything that his friends love to do. He loved to go to the sunset. He never had this problem before. But this particular day right here, it's something about this day right here, y'all. It's something about this day.
It's just like everyone else in our friend group. He loved to go on the water and, have a good time with the guys. And that's what we did a lot. But 4th of July, everybody was out there. Like I said, Nolan was always trying to go on the boat, trying to go out there with us. And he was always welcome to come. Nolan was always out there with us. And but started 4th of July, my buddies and I had talked about this week's upcoming, everybody's very, very excited for the 4th of July from down here. It's a big thing.
It's a big deal.
Very, very big deal. And
okay. With this trip right here, and I'm glad Warren is telling y'all stuff. Okay? I believe Warren can tell us a little bit more if he wasn't in the camera. He can tell us what happened out there, what's going on out there. But my thing is, it's a lot. Man, I'm just sorry, y'all. I'm telling you, I ain't no spiritual leader, but it just hit me like that something happened. Something happened. Something went wrong, and these boys wants to tell y'all, but they can't. It's not the right time. What's gonna happen in this case? It's gonna be eeny, meeny, mighty, mo. They're gonna start pointing fingers at each other. Not them, not just them. They go tell y'all what they heard. But the ones who were left out there on the out there on the island, it's gonna be any mean. They're gonna start pointing fingers at each other. Because these guys allegedly supposed to be gone. They was gone at 4:30. Last time he set eyes on Nolan was at 3. He told y'all the last time I set eyes on Nolan, it was at 3, and he was craping with this girl with an arm around her and everything. We haven't heard from the girl yet. Okay.
I actually stayed with Nolan that night at my buddy's house, and I woke up at my buddy's house, and we went to McDonald's, got food. Nolan was not with me, and I went and got breakfast. I had my buddy's boat hooked up to my truck, and first I ran to my house, and then I went to McDonald's and came back, and the boat was already hooked up to my truck. My buddy Wyatt and I went, and with my buddy, and we went, filled the top of the boat off, loaded it down with ice, and just got everything ready. Then Wyatt went and put his I drove the boat from Fort Bayou Boat Launch to my buddy's grandparents' house, and that's where we all planned to meet up that day. And
you say we all, who are you talking about? You, Nolan, and how many people are going to meet you guys there?
we had roughly 20 to 30 people coming on 3 separate.
Okay, they had about 20 to 30 people, y'all. That's a lot of people that know Nolan out there on that island. 20 to 30, y'all. You know how many boats is there? You know how many boats that mean? What I can't understand in this case is, and we're not even near finished, why is everybody out there at Horn Island? Okay, they always go out there. You got the coach out there. You got the best friend out there. You got everybody out there. What is this supposed to be, like a planned vacation where everybody's supposed to meet at? I never seen a trip where you got your coach out there on the island, and that's where everybody and their mamas come, and grandpa come on the 4th of July. And this where everybody come. It's a coincidence that the football coach there. It's no coincidence that the friends are there. It's just strange how everybody there, but nobody witnessed what happened to Nolan Wells. Okay, let's go here. We don't give up on you, Nolan, because we know something happened to you. Okay, let's go right here. Now, only reason why I want to come here is this is what Nolan said right here. This has been my problem. He had help on that boat. He told you I was wrong with the pump. It stopped working. So when that pump stopped working, I showed y'all the video before. I'm going to show you another one on a beautiful Saturday morning. Okay? So he said it himself that it stopped working. Nolan said it came out his mouth, and the people still saying that he didn't say that. Okay, let's go here.
We got a bilge down here. It's not pumping out water. We leave the boat in the water a lot. We got to make sure that the bilge is working. We don't want the boat to sink, and then that'll be a whole other video. But we're not doing that. We're going to try not to...
See, he said that's something different if the boat was sinking. But that's what Warren told y'all, the boat was sinking. But he said, we're not going to do that.
Make that video. We're going to make Fixing the Bilge video. So y'all stay tuned and check this out. Remember, subscribe to the channel, like and share. Subscribe now so you can help me spread the word, you know. So anyway, check it out. It's going to be a great video. Stay tuned. Bilge Maintenance 101 here. Hey, y'all. So we got a bilge pump here, right here. Pumped it out a little bit. Runs off the float switch. So when the boat's sitting in the water, it'll, if it gets water in it, the pump will turn on and, you know, get the water out of the boat. So for some reason it ain't working. You see, no pumpy. So the connection's bad, the pump's bad, or the float switch is bad. But we gotta find out which. So there's power lead coming in. So there's the power lead going to the pump. So we're gonna cut a little bit of this stuff back just so we can get a good reading, and we'll reheat shrink everything when we're done. It's no big deal. Just want to make sure we got power. And if we do, great. If we don't, well then we need power. Any of these wires could be bad, and salt water.
Okay, now, Nolan pouch, Bill's pouch, whatever they call it, you know what they call it, it wasn't broken. So the only thing Nolan could have done was this. Nobody's speaking of this, what I just showed y'all a few minutes ago. Okay, this is broken, but the other video that I saw, you can go back and watch it, where the pump, only thing he had to do was hit a switch. They're not telling you that. Okay, so let's go here. I already showed them a video. If you're late coming in here, just go back and rewind the video. We already showed the one. Only thing he had to do was hit a switch. Duh.
Some of the boys that they're accusing wasn't even on the boat that Nolan was on.
If I'm sitting waist deep in water and all my friends are, everybody's leaving their phone on the boat. I open the back hatch and there's water up to the batteries. And that is obviously not good. Nolan decided to stay on the island with the girl that he was with. And the girl is a witness to that too.
Yeah. We're in Mississippi right now. We're getting ready to recount the exact path that the boys took. Also with Nolan Wells from where they docked the boat at all the way out to Horn Island and back. The boys are going to explain to me exactly what went on, how many people were there, how many boats were taken out, which I think the world is going to be completely...
No, he already said it was 20 to 30 people. He already explained it. Let me skip it. He already explained to us there were 20 to 30 people on the boat. Nolan did. A Warren already explained it.
And 4 boys, there was a multitude of people on several different boats, and some of the boys that they're accusing wasn't even on the boat that Nolan was on. But let me show you from the vantage point where I have the video to prove that I'm here where I say I am. And so right now, here's the angle that you're gonna see on the footage. It's just from probably that boat to, maybe about 30, 40 feet here to the right. And this is where the video is showing how many people were actually out there, actually getting on the boats. So therefore it debunks very clearly that it was only Nolan and 4 boys going out here to Horn Island.
It was a group of them. It was a group of them. Everybody know that part. Okay. We knew it was a group of them.
Sorry about the sunglasses. It's very bright out here, and I never wear sunglasses. But we're at Horn Island, and almost the exact same position where the boys were, where Nolan was. So if you look out right here, just so you guys can get a perspective, you have the Horn Island here. But I want you guys to put this in your mind what this was like on that day. You have boats 2, 3, 4 deep. From way down there where you can see all the way through here. You have thousands of people on this island, probably 2,000 people. So this wasn't some abandoned, secluded island where nobody's at. Obviously this is a Monday and there's a few people on the backside of the island, not a lot of people here. But on 4th of July, this is a celebration. And so this wasn't a small place where 4 boys took their black friend and dropped him off and never seen him again. This place was flooded with people. Tons of people, multiple boats, multiple friend groups. I mean, everybody's here having a good time. And then the boat gets towed out because it was getting...
Tons of friends, multiple boats, multiple friends. I mean, it's a whole lot of witnesses out there. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on 1 second. 1 second, y'all. Ouch! What is that? And y'all go sit down. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to go answer the door for the pizza. Hold on. Okay, here we go. We had multiple boats, tons of people, tons of witnesses. We had tons of witnesses out there, tons of boats out there. And somebody drowned. One person drowned.
Ready to sink. And so, and from what I was told, they told Nolan, get on the boat, man. Get on the boat. Get on the freaking boat. And he decided, because he's an adult, that he was going to stay behind. And all the boys that they've been accusing, they said it had something to do with his death. They were all gone at 4:30. They were all gone. And they told Nolan to get on the boat. He didn't. And then there was a report of somebody seeing Nolan around 6:30-ish. And so for them to come out and claim these lies, won't take the time to come to Horn Island, won't take the trip out here to figure out what happened, won't talk to anybody, pushing an agenda is wrong. And that's the reason why I came out here.
But I believe when you hire an investigator, that's their job to go out there. Nobody know that the parents taking times to go out there, because the mom did go out there and saw Nolan. Nobody know who went out there from the parents' side. And we gonna get justice for Nolan Wells.
To see for myself, what did this look like? What could have happened? You know, does the stories line up based on what I've seen and what I've heard from people that live here that were involved in this situation? This is where the lie started. Like on that day, which is a lot. Happened. Nobody could have seen what happened but the boys. It's a flat out lie. Is there anything?
Now, I wish Nolan, deep down in my heart, all of that shenanigan going on that island, I wish he had got back in that boat and left with them. I wish he had just got in the boat and left with them. I wish he would have got in that boat and left with them. Maybe we wouldn't be here now.
That you want to say, you want people to know about this whole experience?
Yeah, I mean, if someone's not from here, it's kind of hard to understand, you know, where the island drops off and how the island works. But, you know, there's plenty of people out here, especially on the 4th of July, you know, this is where people come out to celebrate. And, I mean, if you fill the water, you can see right here, Brandon, where it drops off. I mean, you can see literally where it drops off. So, I mean, it goes from about waist deep water right there to neck deep. And then it drops from neck deep all the way to like 17, 20 foot. I mean, we weren't in a quarter mile off the island and when we were leaving, and I mean, it was 30 foot of water. Yeah. So, I mean, we're walking towards the east right now, but if you walk down to the west, that's where the west tip of the island is, and that's where the current picks up very, very bad.
People talk about the phone situation. I wonder, because the way you articulate it, I just walked in the water with my pants it wet, and you can tell right away that if you're hanging out in the water, it doesn't appear, in my opinion, that you would have your phone on you. Is that typical for people to have their phones, or?
No, I mean, people come out here, especially on the 4th and, you know, Memorial Day, like, you know, days like that, they come out here to celebrate, and people get on the water to be off their phones, first off. Second off, if I'm sitting waist deep in water, and all my friends are, everybody's leaving their phone on a boat, in a lake, you know, if you're sitting on a pond, and no one's getting out on the water with their phone in their hand, unless, you know, it's to take a quick picture. But most of the pictures taken on the 4th of July were on the boat. I mean, and, you know, salt water, if you drop your phone in salt water, most of the time you're not going to get it back. I mean, you know, especially if the water's murky right now because there's been a lot of rain. You can't see, the visibility isn't good. The water isn't clear like it was last year around this time. And, you know, like, no one has their phone though, usually. I mean, unless you're crazy, I'm not walking around with my phone in my hand and then walking around Horn Island, you know.
Hey, Cher. Cher.
Was it just his phone when y'all left, or other people have phones on the boat?
Absolutely not. Like, there was at least, well, I rode out here on a different boat, like I told you, and I grabbed my phone. I grabbed my phone when I left the Palm Beach to get on the boat with to get on the boat with White, because we were having, you know, boat issues. And when I got on the boat, there was phones everywhere on the console. I mean, everywhere. Like, I mean, there was everybody's phone that was sitting around the boat was on the console. Like, we had phones that we didn't even know whose they were, you know, and people just leave their phone, especially when people people are drinking and, they're not in the right state of mind, a lot of people are like, oh, I'll just leave my phone and I'll get it later, And that's the way it is around here. You don't take your phone and walk around the island. There's plenty of phones on the boat and, spread out between the 3 boats that we had. And, we had 20 plus people on spread between our 3 boats. So, of course, everybody's phone was on the boat. I never saw someone in the water that day sitting with their phone in their hand, scrolling on anything or even taking pictures in the water. Yeah, someone might hop out the boat. A lot of girls like to take pictures, in the water. And so do guys, but, girls want to take pictures in the water. Half a second, you might hop out the boat and be like, oh, I'm snapping this picture of myself or of someone else. But as soon as I get back in the boat, I'm putting my phone up and I'm getting back in the water and I'm hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, that's just common sense, man. And describe to me what the day was like. I saw a video online. How hectic was it out here? Right now it's barren. There's not a lot of people out here.
Right.
But clearly that's not what it was on the 4th of July. So,
right.
How dense was it with people here?
Well, you look at all the videos, they're spread out online, and a lot of them, you can't believe what you see all the time online. You know that better than anybody, but, there was boats lined up all the way down the island, and there was rows. There's the first row, there's the second row. We were in the 3rd row where it drops off, and then there was even boats in front of us, and this went all the way down towards the east end of the island, and then there was people on the east tip. We're on the north side now, but there was people on the south side too, lined up all the way down. And if you talk to anybody on the coast about this, they know that. 4th of July, this is the hot spot. This is where people want to be. This is where people want to come out, hang out with their family and friends.
And people say that you guys just left Nolan behind. I've seen reports of people saying that you just left him. I've seen reports of people saying that you asked him to get on the boat. You told him to get on the boat, he didn't. What's the truth in that?
Well, Wyatt was having boat issues, and the bilge wouldn't pump. So the bilge is basically a pump that releases water from your boat when water comes in. So I opened the back hatch, and there's water up to the batteries. And that is obviously not good. There's water almost coming over the transom, which is where your motors sit. It was the...
But see, y'all, and I don't know if I'm saying the word right, bilge, valve, pump, bilge, whatever it is. Water will get into that because water gonna get in the boat. Okay, you can hit this switch and flip it, whatever you're gonna do, unpump or whatever you're gonna do, and then your boat be on the way on the Tristan boat. Okay.
Stern, like in the back part of the boat. So obviously we were in emergency. The boat, we're trying to save the boat. It's not like we didn't ask Nolan or we just left Nolan. Nolan decided to stay on the island with the girl that he was with, and the girl is a witness to that too.
Yeah. I'm glad you cleared that up, because I think it's important for people to have the context of like what it was on that day, what happened, what didn't happen. And the beauty of all of this is that you guys have evidence to prove that, of course, you asked Nolan to come on and different things like that. So, but anyway, man, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Well, the main thing is, I wish that other people would come forward like he did. Like there were witnesses that did speak to the sheriff, to the investigators. It was like 60 of them. Even I know they didn't have to leave with them, y'all. What the young man is trying to do is clear his name and what he did, and he focused mostly on the boat. What happened on the boat? You know, the boat sank. So I'm gonna play this before I go on. Before I move on, I'm gonna play this again for those who missed it. Y'all can't come in late and then we already talked about this. So I'm going to play this again. But we can't just keep starting over when y'all come in late, okay? This is what Warren, the same young man, said.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Bourne, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking.
This morning, more audio of the frantic call from the boat Nolan Wells was supposed to have taken to shore after celebrating July 4th with friends on a remote barrier island off the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
And what do you want to do? Do you want to be towed back?
I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes.
The caller told the dispatcher everyone aboard was unhurt and noted he and the passengers were young.
There's 0 adults on board. Nobody here is over the age of 21.
Documents obtained by ABC News show that boat set off for Horn Island just before 10 a.m. the morning of July 4th. Wells and his friends arrived at 11:14. For the next 5 hours, the boat was stationary until it left at 4:31 p.m. without Wells.
The boat left at 4:31 p.m., y'all. Nolan friends saw him around that time. He even saw when the friends left, y'all. I just don't understand. I'm trying to put Nolan on the boat, but I can't put Nolan on the boat if people see him on the island. They was gone at 4:31, y'all. What's the problem, y'all? I just trying to find out what is the problem. They left at 4:31. Their boat left at 4:31. What's the problem? All the people who saying that he was on the boat. When they left, Javon saw him. Javon saw him out there. He spoke to him around this time. What is the problem, people? All the ones say he was on the boat, please make me understand. If they left at 4:31, what was Nolan? Y'all, are you all saying talk? Y'all, that's what I need for you all to talk. If you don't have nothing to say, then that means that you are a distractor. You are trying to distract the people. At 4:31. Which one? Okay, let me block them. Hold on. Okay, I will. I did. At 4:31, what I already did. I blocked them. Okay, at 4:31, what I'm trying to understand, y'all, make me understand that what Stacy kept his throat. It showed proof of foul play, right? Because 4:30. Okay, what I'm trying to get the people to speak up now is they were all on the boat at 4:31. In my opinion, they just not saying it. Okay, so you think that at 4:31 that he left, Nolan left with them, right, Tanner? So you believe that Nolan left at 4:31? Okay. So the question is for me is if he left at 4:31, then we got a problem with the other friend, right? Cause the other friend said that he saw Nolan, he was happy, he was joyful. Oh, okay. He said, but the other friend Javon throwing us off. Javon said that when the boat left, he didn't see Nolan on the boat. And the girl said she heard. I see, the thing is, we don't hear what the witnesses are saying. What the witnesses are saying, are these boys fear of somebody stronger and growner? This is some older adults in this. I ain't no psychic, but I always say that somebody put fear in these boys' heart. I just don't believe they was on the boat, y'all. Because they also were at, okay, where the grandpa owned a boat shop. Okay. Now, see, even if they was at the boat shop, wouldn't you take your boat to a shop to see what was going on? See, the grandpa, if the sea toad is correct, and I don't trust the sea toad. I just don't.
Moving at no more than 4 knots. Whatever problem the teens reported was resolved about an hour later at 5:25 when vessel regains normal operation and begins accelerating at 30 to 35 knots. Friends said they did not abandon Wells Rather, the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources reported his friends saying Wells was in the company of an unknown female and that he chose to remain at the island. As searchers began scanning the island and surrounding waters, this email obtained by ABC News shows the preliminary information they were given, describing Wells as a black male, 6'1", 180 pounds, wearing shorts only. The Marine Patrol listed his alcohol intake as heavy. The state's autopsy, including the results of toxicology tests, is pending.
As long as we continue to remember.
I just don't believe Nolan was on the boat, y'all. I really don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so it's okay. It's okay if y'all feel like that because you got your reason. But I can't understand how he gonna be out there on the boat and Javon say he saw him. He saw Nolan at 431. The other friend. So do you think the friend had some kind of fear in him? And I don't trust that C-toad because the C-toad had everybody running around in a circle. So let me do this right quick. I'm not going to give up on Nolan. I'm going to be there for Nolan because the mama can't say too much, so I got to talk for her. Let me see something. Look, y'all.
Told me if you've been following Nolan Wells' story on social media for the past few weeks, there is nothing new in this document that you may not already know.
Jonathan.
I think it illustrates the limits and of what you can of what we can know right now.
Mississippi College law professor Matt Steffi is saying this 22-page document released by the United Cajun Navy is not revealing much. It's a timeline of the day 18-year-old Nolan Wells went missing on Horn Island. He was later found dead 2 days later on the shoreline.
That's what, okay. When Nolan was found 2 days later, he wasn't found on the 4th, he wasn't found on the 5th. He was found on the 6th. Where he was found is supposedly be the area where he was located at first, y'all. Y'all got to remember Tristan said he know, but I don't know to believe him or not. I don't know him or not. I don't know him, but the other friend Tristan said that there was 10 boats that stayed overnight on the island. It was people, it were witnesses on the island, y'all.
The United Cajun Navy, who assisted in the search for the teen, compiled pictures, videos, and comments from social media to map out what happened the day of his disappearance.
We're not any closer to knowing the cause of death.
We understand, y'all. All the people who coming in late telling us about the boat. We know over here on this channel, we know there was 3 boats and 20 to 30 friend boats were there. We know over 20 to 30 people that came. We know all of this. We know about the 3 boats. We know about the other friend, but it's some more people out there. Somebody did something to that boy. Got too many witnesses out there.
Any closer to knowing the circumstances of death, and we're not any closer to establishing anything that looks like civil or criminal liability.
There are pictures of groups of people in multiple boats, including the one Nolan arrived on. The social media comments discussed Nolan's whereabouts. One user saying that he saw Nolan in a group that was 5.
Now, one of the witnesses said one of my passengers is pretty certain he was part of the group that was almost fighting around 5 p.m. Listen, y'all don't see this? Okay, so y'all gotta excuse me because I'm a track coach and I be excited because them kids used to have me like this. Jesus. So at 4:31, the boat was already gone. Nolan boat was already gone, but somebody was out there fighting them children. Somebody was out there fighting because look right here, somebody said they almost said that he was is pretty certain that Nolan was a part of a group that was almost fighting around 5 p.m. But their boat was already gone. The perchman with the blue top that I post left shortly after that and pretty fast. Uh-oh. They said, this person said, the boat that they saw had a blue top that I post left shortly after that and pretty fast. It was so many fights out there, y'all. Telling you. It was so many fights. Do y'all hear what this boy said? So that means Nolan was still out there at 5. What group was Nolan in when they was fighting around 5 o'clock? Because the boys gone at 4:31, y'all. The boys gone at 4:31. The fight was around 5 p.m. The fight, listen, y'all missing the point. 5 o'clock p.m. Warren, their boat wasn't there. But this man trying to tell y'all that at 5 p.m. he was certain that Nolan was a part of the group that was almost fighting around 5 p.m. We got to find out who those people are. And then they took off, y'all. He said that boat has a blue top that he had post shortly after that. And they left pretty fast at 5 p.m. So do we have the right time?
Another user said that when she left the island, she did not see Nolan near the boats at all.
And the other friend said when she left, she didn't see Nolan at the boat at all. Maybe Nolan couldn't have left the boat because Nolan, they were gone. They was gone. That's why she didn't see Nolan at the boat. Common sense. There was fight out there. What do you mean there wasn't no fight? The kids even said were fights out there. I'm gonna block you because you acting stupid. That the kids said were fights out there. I don't know why y'all believe the children. That's the problem. We got a lot of parents don't want to believe the kids.
He says this information was crafted carefully, but it does not hold the weight to be presented in court.
It has to be in court testimony based on personal knowledge, and any documents, which would include photographs and videos, have to be authenticated. We have to know who took them and when, and with a reasonable degree of certainty, know that they are in fact photos and not AI.
Near almost every listed source, the Cajun Navy said they needed additional.
I mentioned this. Is there a roster out there? I want to know. Do anybody have the names of all 30 names of people who went on that trip? Do they have a sign-in sheet? Y'all listen, y'all. Do they have a sign-in sheet where everybody have to sign their name? If there's a sign-in sheet where everybody has to have a list of people who on those boats, just in case somebody drown out there. Is there something that is it just where you could just go swimming, y'all? I'm gonna be honest with you. I wish I could have found, and y'all, it was overnight, and I'm gonna see can I find that video. There are people that stay out there on that island, y'all. There was cameras out there, y'all. There was cameras out there on the building. It was some cameras out there, y'all. It was cameras on the houses out there, y'all. Yeah, the captain law. Yeah, RS. I always ask that question. I never heard nobody mention that law but me. Where is that verified roster at? Where's the law at? You got to have something. It got to be something. They don't have to do that out there on that boat. That's weird. out there on that island. That's weird.
Verification. They also said that they were not able to answer a vital question, which was what happened before the boat Nolan arrived on left the island. In a statement, the vice president of the Cajun Navy says the report is not meant to point fingers or draw conclusions. They just want to add anything that might be relevant to the investigation. Back to you.
Okay, well then, thank you.
And you know what, Jonathan? I got a problem with that too. I always wonder what's going on out there on the boat at night.
We have audio of a distress call that went out from the boat Nolan Wells was on before he went missing. His friends on board that boat called for help because the boat started taking on water.
Looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you on Horn Island?
Yes.
All right. Is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We were sinking, yes.
Is it aground is the question?
No, we're not aground. We are in 17 foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
All right, have to ask. What do you want to do? Do you want to be towed back?
I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes.
The call continues, and the boat...
And see, what tripping me out is, why did the grandpa say, this young man is in stress. He said we are sinking. He in distress. Why did the grandpa if the grandpa said, we don't know if they really a real, not this is on news, I'm saying that did the grandpa really call in after they said that the boys was okay? When the young man said we are sinking, get somebody out here to help us, but we don't want the Coast Guard.
I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes.
The call continues, and the boater, whose identity remains unclear, confirmed that no one above the age of 21 was on the boat. Wells, who was not on the boat during that call, was found dead 2 days later. His family's attorney says expert engineers have been hired to review the audio as well as other audio.
And that is so sad. A nice person. That's all I hear. Nice thing about this young man who don't want to fight. If he was on the boat where they fight all the time, Lord have mercy, Nolan. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, we saw that over here. Let's see this. Did I show this? No.
In the mysterious death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells. For the first time, one of Wells' friends who was with him during that 4th of July trip is speaking out. He's responding to the growing questions surrounding the teen's death and the speculation that has exploded online. Investigators say Wells disappeared during a trip to Horn Island off the Mississippi Gulf Coast. His body was found there 2 days later. 16 WABT's Carlos Garcia here now with us with what that friend is saying, Carlos.
That's right. Well, Nolan Wells' friend says that it wasn't Nolan that was featured in a viral video. Apparently shows several people arguing, but rather it was him engaging in the verbal altercation while Nolan was elsewhere.
I didn't know I lost my best friend.
For the first time, a friend who was with 18-year-old Nolan Wells the day he disappeared is speaking out. Trayston Shepard declined to appear on camera, saying he and the others who were on the boat have been receiving threats.
We did no wrong here, and we don't understand how we're getting so much hate behind it. We all cared and loved Nolan, and nobody wanted to see Nolan die. Nobody wanted to see his life be taken so short.
Shepard also addressed this viral video that has fueled speculation online. Nolan's parents believed it showed their son involved in a confrontation. But Shepard says it wasn't Nolan, it was him.
That's the video I'm referring to.
My thing is with that video right there, Tristan. I know you say it was you. Why is it said, give me my phone? And they didn't have your phone. Why is the video saying, give me my phone? But they don't have your phone. I don't understand that part. See, okay, 24-hour tow. Right. Grandpa didn't need a tow bill. Now, we ain't talking about the tow bill. We talking about why did the grandpa say that they was okay and the boy said they was sinking. Now, I don't see, if you don't see something wrong with that, it's crazy. Why would the grandpa say the boat is okay? And the captain said, I just got out the phone with the grandpa. He said, ain't nothing wrong with the boat. But then he said, I just got off the phone, but the boy just called in panicking. Whew. These people don't want to believe the truth, y'all. Y'all got to believe the truth.
That's me yelling.
Shepard says he returned to the mainland later that afternoon, while Wells stayed behind on Horn Island with a girl he had met that day.
Wow. So you think it, so RSG, you think that he was on the boat with the friends, but somebody said Nolan was out there. They know certainly that they saw Nolan at 5 o'clock on the boat with some guys fighting. We got to explain that. They met that day, and it was he said that Nolan met that girl that day, and it was kind of one of those things. How do Tristan, whatever his, I don't want to say Mr. Shepard, know what happened, and he's supposed to went home? It's a cover up, allegedly. It's a cover up. The reason why I'm saying that is because it's too much of this and it's too much of that. How do Mr. Shepard, that was interviewed, Tristan, says they met that day and it was it's a kind of one of those things. How he know when he was gone? How do Tristan know when he was gone? I know. Right, RS. How do Tristan know and his daddy took him home, his uncle, somebody took him home? How he know that Nolan met a friend out there and he was gone? He did come out that day that he really did like her. How do he know this and he wasn't out there? How do Tristan know this? This is the very first video he made. They met that day, and it was kind of one of those things. He did come out that day that he really did like her, but that was only time they ever hung out. How do you know? How do he know? Yeah, I had showed him at the beginning of the video what a power pump is. But I'm just saying, how do Tristan know everything? And the mama said she don't even know Tristan. I see why she said it, because listen to what he's saying. He was gone, so how he know what happened and he was gone? How he see the girl and he was gone? Ooh, Lord, honey.
Met that day, and it was kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her. But
how he know? He just want to be a part of it.
That was the only time they'd ever hung out, was at Horn Island on July 4th.
Investigators believe Wells drowned and say they've found no immediate signs of foul play, but his parents continue to question that conclusion. They told ABC's Good Morning America they tracked Nolan's cell phone.
Now, when you said RS, you said, nah, ain't nobody, I don't even think you crazy. It's just that's what they want us to think. That's a distraction. Someone who has worked with walkies for all my career kept as a walkie right next to him talking to the people on the boat. So you saying that somebody had a walkie-talkie on the boat? A walkie right next to them? This is crazy. Well, I believe so too. Got to be a walkie-talkie out there. You got boats out there in the water, cause you ain't gonna be able to use your phone. Now, this is what kind of got to me too, y'all. This what got to me too. This, his time, what he says about when he first saw Nolan. Listen to the time and the area. The caller gives his coordinates, then you hear walkie people. Well, Melissa, how you know what the boat had? But Melissa, how do you know about the boat? Were you there? How do you know that the boat didn't have a walkie-talkie? See, that's what I'm talking about. That's distraction. If you wasn't on the boat, how you gonna tell her? How you gonna tell this young lady, a young man, what's on the boat and you wasn't there? He says on the call. He says on the call. On the call, he doesn't have a VHF, which is attached to the boat. Right? He sure did. But I think he was talking on the boat. Okay, but you own a boat for a year. How do you know he doesn't have a walkie-talkie? If he has one, and he said no. Okay, so Jonathan said, okay, Melissa, okay. Jonathan said they asked him did he have one. He said no. The VHF is boat radio. Okay. Okay, Melissa. Okay. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Don't go nowhere. I like y'all. Ooh, Lord, where y'all been the whole time? Hold on, y'all. Hold on, honey. Look, Nita gonna find out about this now. Hold on, y'all. Woo! Okay, y'all can. Hold on, y'all. Had to take a break. Here we come. We back, y'all. We back. Let me see what y'all saying. Okay, yeah, and I noticed something. Hold on, Melissa, y'all. I noticed something that he had a bad signal out there. So I kind of figured that he was on his phone because the signals were bad. Okay, y'all, they listen to okay, but listen to this, y'all. Let's stay focused on what he's saying. I think this man right here, this young man right here, is giving us a direction of where Nolan was when he seen Nolan. He said, I started an image of the scene. Listen.
So I started taking images of the scene on the ground. There were several law enforcement boats and personnel. And later on, when I looked at the pictures and zoomed in, I noticed that you could actually see the body laying on the shoreline in those pictures. I was not trying to take a picture of the body at the time, but it ended up being captured in the wide angle.
And what exactly do you see in the photos?
I see a body that matches the description of Nolan Wells, laying face down at the shoreline right at the water's edge. And he was wearing swim trunks. And
I think that these people got to be careful the way they describe these people right here when they yeah, you're right, Melissa. The satellite does work if you got a satellite, it does work well with no signal. You're right about that part. Now, Nicole said boats don't have walkie-talkies. We have radio satellite, and I know that for sure that y'all do have radio satellites. Well, maybe it was a set phone. Okay, it's okay, RSG. It's okay. But they are right though about that though. They do have a satellite phone, cause I mentioned that in one of the other videos. But can y'all focus, all these boat people, can y'all focus on this for me? On this video right here. He the one found Nolan. He found Nolan. Expensive boat, okay.
I see a body that matches the description of Nolan Wells, laying face down
Thank y'all for the information.
Edge, and he was wearing swim trunks and was not moving. Obviously, it just looked like he was sleeping on the beach.
Now knowing that the family is looking for any information about his body being discovered that day and washing up on shore, do you plan to hand over these photos and these images to the family or to their team?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's obviously images that I hope that his family never has to see. However, anything, and I want to repeat this, anything that Christine and Elmore want from the United Cajun Navy, we will not tell them no.
Something happened after the friends left around 6 p.m. That's what I said, Nicole. I said when no young men's left at 4:31. Somebody else saw Nolan out there at 5. 6 o'clock, I believe Nolan was, somebody said they saw Nolan out there. I told them that somebody saw Nolan out there walking around. Now, who is the unknown male and who is the female, and who is the wife and the husband? And I believe that's somebody who was out there overnight, who was out there later. Whoever out there later, I believe Nolan got left again. Nolan tried to get a ride with somebody, he couldn't get a ride. Nolan got stuck in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's what. Okay, Jonathan. Hold up, Jonathan. I'm about to play it again. I ain't gonna say nothing. Hold on, Jonathan. I don't say nothing.
Started taking images of the scene on the ground. There were several law enforcement boats and personnel. And later on, when I looked at the pictures and zoomed in, I noticed that you could actually see the body laying on the shoreline in those pictures. I was not trying to take a picture of the body at the time, but it ended up being captured in the wide angle.
And what exactly do you see in the photos?
I see a body that matches the description of Nolan Wells, laying face down at the shoreline right at the water's edge. And he was wearing swim trunks and, was not moving. Obviously, it just looked like he was sleeping on the beach.
Now knowing that the family is looking for any information about his body being discovered that day and washing up on shore, do you plan to hand over these photos and these images to the family or to their team?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's obviously images that I hope that his family never has to see. However, anything, and I want to repeat this, anything that Christine and Elmore want from the United Cajun Navy, we will not tell them no. We will give them whatever they want, anytime they want. All they have to do is ask.
So once they ask you, you will then hand over anything that you do have and any information that you have from that day?
That's correct.
Why didn't your team communicate to the family about what you saw that day?
Yeah, I just didn't think that it would be helpful to his mom as she was just finding out.
So you said, who is OT's video? See, I can't, we creators, we really can't get into like that. We could do stuff like news and stuff. But who is OT? Who is OT, Nicole? Cause we can't just watch nobody. I can watch somebody else's video off of here. But like this, I can. Oh. Okay, I've been looking at his. Okay, if you want to mention that. And he said he gave the screenshot to the police. I'm talking about which video though? Hold on for a minute. I've been watching all the Officer Tatum videos. Which one you talking about, baby? It's a lot of them. Talking about this one? Which one did Officer Tatum mention in? Did he mention in this one, or did he mention it in this one? Which one did he mention it in? As the end of the interview. Hold up for a moment. At the end of this one? At the end of the, you want me the first one you show? Okay, this one. This one. Okay, I'm gonna play this one out. Okay. Thank you, Nicole. I'm gonna play this one out. Okay, this is the first. This is the first one. Austin telling me. I'm gonna play this one. Oh, Jonathan, you got to go. Okay, well, Jonathan, thank you for being here. Nicole, I'm gonna play this one. Okay.
The boat was already hooked up to my truck. My buddy Wyatt and I went and with my buddy Wilson, we went, filled the top of the boat off, loaded it down with ice, and just got everything ready. Then Wyatt went and put his smaller boat in the water, which is the Palm Beach. He's an 18-foot Palm Beach, and I drove the boat from Fort Bayou Boat Launch to my buddy's grandparents' house, and that's where we all planned to meet up that day. And
you said we all, who you talking about? You, Nolan, and how many people are going to meet you guys there?
We had roughly 20 to 30 people coming on 3 separate boats with us. And so we
Thank you,
were all
Nicole.
each other out there as one big group. You know, it wasn't just me, Nolan, and a couple other of my buddies. There was 20 or 30
Oh,
people.
thank you, Jonathan.
And then we departed to go to Horn Island. It wasn't just a couple of us. I mean, there were so many people, we had to split up between 3 boats, and we all left and all got there at the same time.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that's clear because the statements that are out there made it appear that it was just you, Nolan, and probably 2 or 3 other guys, and y'all are the only ones that went out to this island.
And that's completely incorrect. I mean, Horn Island on the 4th of July is the most popular day to be on the water throughout the entire Gulf Coast. I mean, everybody and their mom is on the water on 4th of July, you know.
Oh, Dominique, y'all so sweet.
I mean, roughly probably 2 to 3,
Oh my
maybe even
gosh.
4,000 people out there. There were boats lined up off the island. I mean, there was 3 rows of boats all the way until my vision.
Thank you for the gift, y'all.
Of people from, I mean, there was 1 row of boats, and then there was another row of boats, and then there was a 3rd row of boats.
Yeah.
I mean, there was people lined up all up and down the island to where, I mean, who knows? I mean, and that wasn't just, we were parked on the north side, on the west tip. It wasn't just there. I mean, there's tons of people packed out on the south side and on the east end and in the middle of the island. But just where we were, I mean, there was easily 1,000 people. It wasn't just us.
Let's go back a little bit. I want to go back to you guys at the dock, getting on the boat. You're saying that's multiple people, probably 20 or 30 people getting on 3 boats. Right? What boat were you on, and what boat was Nolan on?
Nolan was on Wyatt's 22 Triton. On the way out, I went with my buddy Bart because we had a lot of friends from college coming down, and I called Bart that morning. I was like, "Hey man, can you take your boat out?" And he was like, "Yeah, well, my dad's decided not to go, and I'll take the boat. And I'll take you and your friends, of course. I mean, he's a buddy of mine."
Maybe I be wrong, but y'all, Warren don't seem like he was on that Tristan boat going out there, cause he sounded like he was with Bart. He sounded like he was with Bart, and he said Nolan was on the Tristan boat. He don't sound like he on the same boat that Nolan on. He seemed like he on there with the older dudes. He don't sound like he on the same boat as the younger guys.
And so Bart pulled up at the dock, and I mean, I rode out there with Bart, and
see, he rode out there. He rolled out there with Bart. That's what he's saying. He rode out there with Bart. Let's find out what boat that Nolan ride out there in and came back on. That's where we stuck at.
a lot of the girls that go to college with my friends and I, and Nolan rode out on the Triton, and then we had a Palm Beach.
Nolan didn't ride out on the same boat that this young man was on. He was on the boat with the older dudes. He was on Bart's boat. Nolan was on the Tryon boat. Warren went over to the other boat to help Wyatt in when the pump stopped working. Right, Melissa. That's what people missing. That's what people missing in this situation right here. He rode out there with Bart. Nolan rode on the Triton boat. Okay, we got to find out who owned these boats, on the other boats. We all want the same thing. We want to know what happened. That's right, to know. And if it was an accident, right? If it was a murder, right? We want to know. I also heard Javon was one of the last works. I ain't got to him yet, Nicole. I ain't got to him yet. Right, Melissa. It's too many witnesses out there. I call the boat witnesses.
Beach, 18 Palm Beach, there was 4 guys on that. There was like 8 people on the Triton, and then there was 8 or 9 people on the Triton, and then there was the rest of the group, which was probably ranged from maybe 10 to 15 or 16 people on my buddy's tide line, which is 24 tide line.
And so you guys get on, and I know a little bit more than the audience to do because we went out there a little earlier because I wanted to see exactly what the drive was like, what the dock was like, how far it is out there. Of course. But I want you to tell, the audience, like, what was this trip like? How was the waters? Did you guys do anything in between the time you rode and the time you get to the island? Was there music? Is it like a big party? Like, what is it?
Yeah, well, obviously music's blasting. It's 4th of July, man. Everybody's really excited. And, we had a lot of people loaded down, so obviously our biggest, we're just trying to make sure everybody, gets out there safe. And on the way out there, it was pretty calm. I think it was blowing like 3 or 4 knots. The waters were clear. It was a great day to be on the water. Sunshine, not cloudy at all. And, it was...
So listening to Warren, it wasn't nothing went wrong with the currencies. Warren said it was a beautiful day that day. Warren said it was a beautiful day. So Warren just not cloudy at all. He said not cloudy at all. It was a great day to be out on the 4th of July. That's very important, y'all. Because it gave me a sense of, it was beautiful on the water. Oh, I love to hear water when I'm asleep. My boat is 25 foot. Oh, wow. Would never have that many people. Yeah, see, Melissa, that's what it's so many of them on the boat. My husband, drinking, I always had to help everyone. Oh, wow, that's awesome. I don't know if it's true that there's a picture of Javon and Nolan, some friend walking. See, that's the problem. I'm having a trust issue in believing what was said in the time. Right, Nicole?
So, we followed each other out, and, it was calm. It was calm. On the way back, it was a little more rough, but it was not anything all my buddies' boats couldn't handle, or like it wasn't like we were getting really beat up or anything. It was pretty calm.
And so you guys get out there. I'm assuming that
it sounds like Warren is older. He's older than Nolan, so he wouldn't be on the challenge. Even though Nolan, this is his first freshman year in college, he seemed like he's not on he on a grown boy's boat. That's why the grandpa told the captain to not say them. He was pissed about his new boat. Yeah, the grandpa was upset about his boat. He said ain't nothing wrong with that boat. It almost like y'all don't know how to clip the thing on and clip it on, clip it off. I showed the video at the beginning.
Line the boats up because I'm envisioning the picture of.
I don't blame Grandpa.
And there's hundreds of boats. There's thousands of people. So it wasn't just you guys on a deserted island.
Of course not.
A few people. This is thousands of people out there.
Right.
And there's a lot of people doing what? What does it look like when you first pull up?
I pull up, and we pulled up at 10:30. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, early afternoon. I mean, it wasn't. But 10:30 is, still pretty early in the day. And when we got there, there was already 3 rows of boats lined up all the way, like I said, until I could see.
And you know what, Melissa? And that's where it seemed like the grandpa don't want his. Grandpa the one got to spend that money. So he got to do what he got to do to make it make reasonable sense where he won't have to come out of his pocket. If they call the Coast Guard and the sea tow, the grandpa gonna know about it. Because they got to call the grandpa. We done this at the lake and my dad cuss us out. He told my uncle not to help us, let us figure it out. Okay, your grandpa acting like me now. Okay, now y'all about to let me come out of my pocket. Okay, that's why they said don't call that Coast Guard. Don't y'all call that Coast Guard. And they don't realize that somebody already called the grandpa. I don't blame the granddad. I'd be mad too. Y'all don't mess up my boat and got all them people on my boat. And why you not on the boat? You rode out there with Bart on the boat. Who you had riding my boat? It's almost like I tell my kids, they said, Mama, you say the same thing. You know I ain't gonna have nobody else driving your car. Every time they use my car, I said, make sure none of your friends drive my car. And they say, you keep saying the same thing, they ain't gonna, but I have to. Cause look, somebody else drove that Tristan boat out there. Bart, Warren said he was on the boat with Bart on the way out there. You see what I mean? Ain't nobody paying attention what these children saying.
When you say all that you see, you're speaking about miles.
Yeah.
A boat. When we went out there earlier today, but when we went out there, the island is
20 miles, I'm sure.
Correct.
I mean, it's
One
several
motorboat.
miles.
Roughly 10 to 12 miles. I mean, it's.
So you think that the boats were stretching from one end to the next, or just a small area of about a mile or less than a mile of boats?
Well, I mean, I think there was boats all the way around the entire island, but I think some spots are more popular than others. Like the West Tip is usually very, very crowded on the 4th of July, and everybody knows that, so that's where a lot of people park because they want to be around other people. And the East End's a little
Nicole,
more,
you
there's not
funny.
many people, but there's still a lot of boats out there. I mean, it's not like no one. I mean, every area of Horn Island is covered, 100%.
Wow.
This is Paytime Solutions.
Oh, my bad. We're trying to go.
Continue to hold.
At Extensus HR, all your HR needs live in one place.
Said 20 miles, they got with leather. Honey, please. They bought like me. I don't deal with that. You weren't even supposed to let nobody else ride my boat. Why you got everybody on my boat? Who was driving my boat when you supposed to be on the boat? I want to know how did the grandpa know that they was having problem with the boat. You see what I mean? Hold on, y'all. Cause I'm trying to go to the end.
Y'all jump out. What do? You know, when I say jump out, you're obviously not just sitting on the boat. The island is there. What exactly are you
I'm
doing
in the
there?
state
Like,
of Maryland and we fish offshore 30 to 40 miles.
In the boat, like how is that look?
And you know what? And that's all I hear about them is being irresponsible. You know, when I listen, wait, y'all, let me plug my phone up. I tell you, I can't wait till I fish. Somebody can help me fish my stream yard where y'all gonna be on my stream yard. I like talking to y'all people. Y'all make it fun. He probably called Grandpa before the sea. I think he called Grandpa too before the sea told. That's what I said. I said he called Grandpa. Said, Granddad, Grandpa, we all right. We all right. Calm down. He said, just don't call them other folks. I don't blame Granddad. All that money, them folks call. It's almost like a towing service on a car. Hey, you better not call them folk call about $1,000, $900 and some dollars.
Everybody, as soon as you get there, I mean, there's people on boats, grabbing drinks and, food, whatever else. I mean, everybody is fully prepared for the 4th of July. They bring, all the drinks and food that they need because, I mean, they've been preparing for 4th for a little while now. But when we got there, I helped my buddies tie the boats up. The tie line was right here, the Palm Beach was in the middle, and then the Triton was on the outer side. And we were...
Y'all know what kind of like tripped me out with this case? Not with the children and why all the safeguard people that go the coast, don't nobody ride around on these so this supposed to be a man-made island or something? I mean, don't nobody ride around to make sure they ain't drunk or they need help out there. So is this a man-made island? Is Horn Island a man-made island? Just not who I met. Let me ask y'all something, Melissa and Nicole. Is this a man-made island? In Georgia, we got some of our lakes are not really lakes, like a beach or nothing like that. It's like a man-made beach. So is this a man-made beach or something? Because, I mean, they ain't got nobody riding around in boats to check and see is everybody okay? Because, sometimes you can go fishing on some of these lakes. If you ain't got fishing license, these people be like, oh, you ain't got fishing license. You can't do that. You can't do that. You know what I mean? We were at an island on the 4th a few years ago, and my husband on the beach with kids. I was in the cabin preparing lunch. Wake hit the boat, and I broke my foot. Oh, wow, I'm sorry to hear that, Melissa. I couldn't call him because of his phone. Wow. No, Horn Island is not a man-made island. Okay, if Horn Island is not a man-made island, why they ain't got nobody out there on the 4th of July sitting in the water waiting on something to happen? They should patrol. They should have somebody out there patrolling that area, y'all, for the 4th of July weekend. Yeah, the phone was on the boat. I don't understand the part. And by the way, I'm so funny with my phone, even though it's an Android phone. I know I have to leave my phone on the boat. So leave it up to me. I would have never brought my phone out there to the beach. No lifeguard, the boat party. That's what I'm saying. No lifeguard, no nothing. No, they don't patrol like that. Usually they are closer to the beach area. I was wondering the same thing. That's what I'm saying. It's on the 4th of July. It look like they should have patrols out there. I hate this happening. I really do. Our phones on the boat. But you know what, Melissa, like when I go walking, but I got to remember when I was 18 years old, I've got to put myself at 18. We weren't into phones like these kids was into phone. We had beepers. Like beep, 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 beep. And we didn't have the kind of phones that they have. But so that the communication was totally different. It said like I wouldn't even took no phone with me if I'm gonna leave the phone on the boat. I wonder did Nolan have 2 phones or 1 phone? This is weird.
A drop off from where the bow was. I mean, if you jumped off the bow, you're probably about
okay, Melissa. Beep, 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 beep.
You were probably wasting water. But when we got there, we tied up, got bow and rear anchor set, and we tied up all the boats, made sure they were good, and everyone just got on the water. Then eventually, next thing you know, it's our group, and then next thing you know, there's 50 other people around us, and then it just grew and grew as the day came on. And I mean, that's just how it was. Everybody's drinking. I mean, it's 4th of July. Everyone's just trying to enjoy themselves. And, it's a big party, basically. Big party.
Yeah, so y'all pretty much have.
Like you said, it was a big party out there. Where the party at? That's what you supposed to do. Have a good time on the 4th of July. Not out there fighting. Ooh, Lord, that's right. Ooh, Jesus, I can't deal with this.
Just like anybody would imagine, 18-year-olds, probably 20-year-olds, college students, out on the island, women. You probably had alcohol. So y'all having a good time.
Yeah, of course.
And so where's Nolan in this? You guys out there, the friend groups out there, 3 boats full of people that came out there that seem to be the closest friend group.
Right.
Where's Nolan in this in comparison to where you and others are at?
Well, I had a couple conversations with Nolan that day, and I talked to him and a couple of my other buddies. They in a group. I was not focused on anyone solely, like looking and pointing anyone out, because there's so
See, he was with his college friend. I think he older than Nolan. So he with the big boys, not the little boys. And like y'all said, you go back and forth. That's what he said, you go back and forth from a boat. No service snap could have recorded last location, not current. See, I don't be on Snapchat, but I used to see the kids, they say that it'll disappear and all that kind of stuff. But you can still recover it. Though I wondered that said that they had one location in Javon had a brother out there? Oh, see, I didn't know Javon had a brother out there. Well, what's his brother out there? Man, I hate this happening to
out there. I mean, I was talking to my friends that I haven't seen in a while from high school. I was talking from people I knew from college. I was talking to, everybody my age and even people older than us were, over there. Like, I mean, it was just a regular thing. We're all used to this. We've been out to the islands before. My buddies don't just go out to the island on 4th of July, but they go out, every weekend. Like, I fish the islands. I don't just, fish around Horn Island. I fish around Ship Island, too. So I'm very familiar with the islands. And I feel like it was just a big... I talked to Nolan, and, Nolan was drinking. Everybody was drinking. Most of everybody. And
my thing is this, y'all. Somebody put fear in them kids. Somebody out there put fear in them kids. And my dad, a police officer. I'm just saying that. Let me stop. Me either on the snap, but I can locate my kids. See, when my children were young, I ain't know nothing. In school, I used to see a lot when the kids be on their phone, and they showed me a lot of little stuff. When I catch them on their phone, when I say kids, y'all, I'm talking about the kids. And PE teacher, I was a PE teacher. So, we see everything. And the kids that was in the 7th grade were looking at I said, come here, let me see your phone. And I always try to look out for the parents. And so I looked at the phone and I said, what is y'all looking at? They was on an app, y'all, called a monkey something, app where the young, older guys and the older team would be talking to the young kids. And I said, don't put my face on here. Cut out there. Yeah, physical education teacher, honey. Health and physical education, we seen everything. We know a lot of what these kids do. Yeah, baby, physical education, baby. We physical and coach track and field for 16 years. So we see a lot. We talk like these kids. We have to get on their level. We have to get on their level. We have to be cool. We find out a whole lot about kids and what they do. They come and tell us everything, y'all. I believe something happened between Nolan and an unknown male. I believe somebody older, somebody got hold to Nolan out there. Somebody, like you said, unknown male, they had to be the last one out there on that island. And those people who stayed on that island saw what happened to Nolan. It's no way Nolan can be gone on the north side of that island on the 4th. They ain't see him, and I'm glad that Warren called, because they went out there on the 5th, they didn't find him. But on the 6th, he in the same place where he was. People don't what's up? Man, I was too, RSG. They love me though. A lot of teachers were jealous kind of kids would do what I say do and won't do what they say do. They math and all they other teachers. What are you telling them? I'm not telling them nothing. Y'all gotta learn how to talk to kids and listen to them. They were jealous, hating on me though, but it's okay though. I still got, some of my I still call kids my kids. That's why I said my TikTok grandson. I be getting on them kids over there, y'all, on TikTok. But anywho, do the same thing. That's right. We do the same thing they did. But somebody out there messing with them fear, don't put fear in them kids' hearts out there. That's what I think. I'm almost at the end, Melissa. I'm almost.
I mean, Nolan seemed completely fine every time I talked to him. We had just regular conversations, and Nolan was making me laugh. I had a couple conversations with Nolan and Javon.
Thank you.
Nolan and my buddy James. Nolan and I can tell you. I talked to Nolan a couple times, but it wasn't like I was strictly sitting there talking to Nolan the whole day. I mean, there was hundreds.
I ain't gonna stop it no more. But I used to keep food like potato chips and stuff locked up. Bring lunch and stuff for the kids, and then for the children. During my period, I have a microwave in my class, and so they can heat their food, bring their own food. We had lunch together. We invited parents. And it's a lot of things that I had to do to look out for the parents. Cause the parents couldn't be there, y'all, and so a lot of teachers was upset because I would take up for the kids. And I'm just y'all not giving the kid time to let the child telling y'all what happened. Boy, I'm so glad I retired, but yeah, Nicole, let them eat in the classroom, honey.
People I knew out there, so.
Yeah, and Nolan said something interesting you told me about this. Something he said to you, I would say would be a friendship. Right. And then he also mentioned something to you about that particular day.
Word.
Right.
Could you share that?
Right. Yeah. So Nolan and my buddy Javon are talking, and I grew up with Nolan, and Nolan's just like I said, like just so joyful, like always happy. Like every picture I have with Nolan or picture I have of Nolan, he's smiling. I mean, like he's always happy. If I always need like a shed of light, I'm calling Nolan, and Nolan and I laugh and joke a lot. Like that's how our friend group is. We're really jokingly laugh. No one takes anything that serious. We enjoy our time together. I mean, it's never.
And then you know what? I feel so sorry for the PE teachers because they put like 60, probably 50 to 60 kids in one class. And while the other teachers don't even have them many kids, they put all them kids on us, y'all. All of those kids on one teacher. But that's okay. I handle mine real good though.
There's never any awkwardness with our friend group. We're very, very tight. So if I ever need to get something off my chest or talk to anybody, I'm talking to all my friends. I'm not just talking to like specifically anybody. I would go out, like even if I'm having issues with something, I go talk to my group chat. My guys are there to, give me a hand anytime I need it. And all my guys are, all my buddies are the same exact way. Nolan was the same exact way. If you ever need something, I'm here, man. Like that's how he was. So.
And then you guys get ready to leave prematurely, right? And like what? Explain that.
Now this is what Melissa talking about right here. I believe, Melissa, here go the part you talking about. I really believe the young man first accused had nothing to do with it. Then the race thing, right? I could understand where they got the race stuff. Because at my school, we international. We got all color kids at the school. And I be around people. I be around, the right people. I was happy if they took out the basketball and lowered the hoops. RG, you funny.
And because you guys got there around 10, it's now 4:30.
This what you talking about, Melissa.
You're out there partying, and they're having a good time, but something happened to where it necessitated you guys to get the boat up and running. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So
It went out, Melissa, but that's the part you was talking about. Yeah, I used to take the worst kids in the building and put them on the track and field. And before we get to this, I had to put them on. I put them in track just so they can stop tearing up the school, y'all. And them kids end up being good kids. I think it was when Crump, right? I don't believe the young man had anything to do with Nolan Devil. I don't either. I think it's somebody else out there and they don't scare them darn children. Now, him, I think he's scared.
But is that Nolan in the video? I can't tell. It's too far away. But in that video, I feel like the voices are too clear. Like from the side, it's too clear for it to be that far away, for it to be Nolan arguing. And then also that altercation, it sounds just like my other friend that got into the altercation on the boat. And they were trying to, like, as he was in that altercation, I was calming him down. They were trying to get him out off the island. They were trying to get him back to land because he was just losing it. So, describe that. That's kind of interesting. What was that about? He was just very hostile. Like he was just like really like mad. Like they were trying to, like the parents on that boat were trying to get him out. I'm curious.
Y'all so funny. You said one your school had 4 white kids, one with my sister. No.
But is that Nolan?
Yeah, this Javon. Like, why was they not doing this with the police? Oh, I ain't heard nothing from no police officer yet. I ain't heard nothing else yet, y'all. But I'm gonna tell you something. They know something, y'all, because I know they got that first autopsy back. These kids really seem to get along. They sure do. That's weird. They get along. I believe they know what's going on, y'all. I believe they know what's happened because we ain't heard nothing from that first autopsy. We ain't heard nothing, y'all. I ain't even seen nothing on TikTok.
Video. I can't tell. It's too far away. But in that video, I feel like the voices are too clear. Like from the side, it's too clear for it to be that far away.
See, I said it's over. One positive thing you can say about Nolan parents, they ain't as arbitrary. One thing I can say that somebody snapped on Nolan and it's activated in some paranoid activity. Yes, ma'am. The first one is done by, they gave everything to, that show did, Nicole. They gave everything to the grand jury, y'all. Witnesses talk and everything. I love me some Nolan. Now Javon said Nolan was way over there. Javon know what happened to. Them kids been threatening, y'all. I don't know who threatened these kids. I don't know who was doing all that fighting out there. That was 1995, and I was called Irish Blurs.
For it to be Nolan arguing. And then also that altercation, it sounds just like my other friend that got into the altercation on the boat. And they were trying to, like, as he was in that altercation, I was calming him down. They were trying to get him out off the island. They were trying to get him back to land because he was just losing it.
So he made it seem like Trayson was on his way on the boat. Listen to what he said, y'all. Prayer circle for truth. I know that right. Listen to what he said. He said that they were trying to put Trayson back on the boat, y'all, and send him back or bring him back on the boat. But Trayson said that when he got into it with the girl, that his uncle said, get on the boat. Where was Trayson's boat when this happened? And when he left? Whew. Lord have mercy, these folks, I'm wearing me out. Nolan, you wearing me out, boy.
But is that Nolan in the video? I can't tell. It's too far away. But in that video, I feel like the voices are too clear. Like from the side, it's too clear for it to be that far away.
for it to be Nolan arguing. And then also that altercation, it sounds just like my other friend that got into an altercation on the boat. And they were trying to, like, as he was in that altercation.
On what boat, Javon? On the boat. What boat, Javon, he was doing an argument on? Cause he said he was on a different boat. But what boat you talking about?
Him down. They were trying to get him out off the island. They were trying to get him back to land because he was just losing it.
They were trying to get him back to land because he was losing it. Wasn't his uncle with him? Did his uncle take him home?
Well, describe that. That's kind of interesting. What was that about?
He was just very hostile. Like he was just like really like mad. Like they were trying to, like, the parents on that boat were trying to get him out.
Yeah, that coach said it wasn't Nolan voice either. That coach said it wasn't Nolan voice. So where did "Give Me My Phone" come from, y'all? They said Tracy was tripping. Yeah, they sure did say Tracy was tripping. I wonder what Crump said, that somebody said, "Give me my phone." Tracy didn't say, "Give me my phone." His conversation was even about a phone. And he said he was technical with the boy. Somebody was out there fighting, y'all. We got to find the fight group.
I'm curious if the police have. I know they said they're still investigating. Did any investigators ever speak to you about what you saw that day?
No, sir.
Really? Okay. Cops have not talked to you yet.
No, sir.
But why the cops ain't talk to you, Tracy? Yes, Tracy and his uncle and a couple or more left and went back to land. Right. Tracy was fussing with some guy over his phone. Who was out there stealing phone? Y'all know what one of the major big things that in the PE department, what we used to have, was they stealing cell phones, y'all. They used to try to steal cell phones, them kids' cell phones. I don't caught folks stealing and gave back to them. And then I had to make arrangement. Yeah. This is, oof.
I don't see why the cops would have to talk to me. I mean, obviously, like, you know, like I had said my plea, like, because whenever I had talked to the people.
When you said your plea. Now, y'all, a lot of people not paying him no attention. When he said, I had to pledge my plea, the kid do be stealing. They sure do was stealing them children phone, and I told their mom, I said, give me that phone. And so now, somebody cooking something. I ain't cooking them, so somebody barbecuing out there, y'all. But so I sure ain't hoping ain't nothing in my house barbecuing and burning, and I don't know nothing about it. But anywho, he said he was fussing with some dude, and I believe the girlfriend had the phone, and Tracy said, "Oh, give me my phone." They'll fight over them phones, though. Them kids will fight over their phone. Let their mama take them phones. They will, woo, Lord. And don't let the mama come in the room. They on their phone. They'll put that phone on. Well, they have to use, you have to put a code in their phone. Woo.
What son heard, it was whenever, you know, the body was discovered and the autopsy people.
Why they got you with son heard? Y'all, what he says, son heard? Son, I looked at Son Harold and I ain't see nothing. He said son heard, let him do a plea. What he was supposed to tell nobody something? Hold on. What is a son heard? He said, I did my plea at the son heard. I don't know why the police had to talk to me. So what is a son heard? Hearn. Or something he said. Shoot, I don't know what he said.
No, sir. I don't see why the cops would have to talk to me. I mean, obviously, like, you know, like I had said my plea, like, because whenever I had talked to the people at Sunher.
So what is he talking about? To the police, but the other one, the cop. He said, believe Javon talked to the police. He said he did talk to the police. He said he talked to somebody at Sunhurst. What in the world?
Sunhurst. It was whenever the body was discovered, and the autopsy people and all those people were there.
The autopsy people and all them people were there at the Sunhurst. Y'all better find out what that boy talking about, what that young man is talking about.
I'll tell you why I'm surprised. Because you knew Nolan well, and you knew that he was friends with these guys who were the last ones to be around him before his body was found. And I would think they would at least want to know, hey, just the things we're asking. Right. Did you ever hear of any of this stuff? It's odd to me. Just to gather information. Yeah, that the cops wouldn't have contacted you. Yeah.
And that's fine. I'm completely fine with that. Like I said, I have nothing to hide. Like, that's my boy, and I want him to find justice. Like that. Like this.
These young boys so young. They so young, man. But everybody want to be grown. Y'all need to listen to y'all parents, boy. I tell you, when y'all children gonna learn to listen?
Whole case thing, like whatever, like this whole situation, none of this adds up to me. So like, it's really hard, like, for like people to just like keep on saying things when like none of it adds up.
In the video that's been going around social media.
Whew. Lord have mercy. And then I'm gonna show y'all Nolan. Look at Nolan having a good time. I hate he deceased. To the point about the broken foot is all that moment on the water, Nolan could have been near the hood of a boat. Wow. It could be hit just hard, right? Enough to pass out. Wow. And you know what? Tons of boats, multiples of people, multiple friend boats, they were 20 to 30 people deep, and some people stayed over till 8 o'clock. What happened to Nolan? He might be it's strong as well. Right. And then he just got a scholarship. Folks have a way they pronounce this Nolan. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm so used to like I am because I had to get down on the kids level, honey. Woo, I had to change my speech. When I got in middle school, started teaching in middle school from high school, my whole language changed, y'all. Oh, Lord, I was saying words like the kids. I was speaking broken language. When I got in middle school, Lord have mercy. They didn't understand that proper talk. You had to get down to the real nitty-gritty. Ooh-wee. I thought he was trying to say Son Herald because Son Herald is the only thing I know was Son Herald. And he said Son Hurt. He said Son Hurt. Just a minute been the PE teacher here all the broken language. Every friend that has spoken on Nolan has been with respect. Sure have. See, that's why I say he said Son Herald, but he said Son Hurt. That's why I don't care when people say, ooh, did you wish you told. Yeah, you dealing with kids 20-something years, you got to get on their level. Shoot, when you talk, go in the classroom and talk proper with 60-something children in the classroom. Somebody ain't going to understand your language. Poor Nolan. I won in no lie, and even there we all get along. Baby didn't even get a chance. I bet didn't even get a chance to run the football down the Don. Look at him. He's so happy. All the little happy children gone. All right, y'all. I'm going to play this video right here, y'all. I think that was one of the first videos that I played when I first came out. I'm going to play this. Nolan, we going to stick and going to talk about you. Every time you Nolan, you got to get them great. You got to let Grandma Benita rest now. I do take naps, but you've been bothering me. And I'm going to stay here until we get your case.
Professor Matt Steffi told me if you've been following Nolan Wells' story on social media for the past few weeks,
ladies and everybody who donated, I appreciate y'all.
I think it illustrates the limits.
Hold on. Nah, that ain't the one I want y'all to hear. That ain't the one. Before we leave. Nah. Did I play that? Nah. I'm gonna play this before I leave. Right. Listen.
Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Bourne, and our village pump's not working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes.
I can't find that, Nicole. Nicole, can you email that information to me? I don't know why y'all can't see my email address. Email that information to me so I can find it, because I haven't found that yet.
We're just thinking, I don't know, like, we're going down now.
All right, well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on the account, sir.
All right, y'all. I want to thank y'all for watching and tuning in. What we're going to do, I want to appreciate all the gifts and everything. Nicole and Melissa, y'all people who into this case, please subscribe to the channel. Because I'm on this case, y'all. I ain't going nowhere until we find out what happened to Nolan Wells out there in that water. Was he conscious or unconscious when he went into the water? My email should be on my it should be on my inside of my what you call it, description. It should be on my page. If you don't see it in my page, Nicole, send it to me on Facebook. Hey y'all, we ain't finished with this case. We just started. Nolan, we ain't going nowhere. I love y'all. Y'all stay focused. Watch your back. And don't try to meet too many folks. Just let them be your associate. Everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't your partner. I'm out, y'all.